Hello and welcome back to another episode of 9 Season 2009 here on MotoGP 22. Now if you haven't seen the previous episodes, I do recommend you go check those out first because this mode tells a story of the 2009 season, so it'll make a lot more sense if you have seen the previous episodes. But this time we're here for the 5th round at Mugello, so let's have a little look at the description. Mugello is Ducati's home track, but also one of Valentino Rossi's favourite hunting grounds, winner of the last 7 editions. His teammate and Casey Stoner are trying to prevent him from winning yet another one. So it seems like then we're going to be playing as Rossi, and we are going to have to stop Stoner and Lorenzo from beating us. 2 episodes this time, so we'll have to see how it goes. But I have heard that this one is extremely difficult. I think Dill told me he had to turn the AI difficulty down significantly to actually achieve it. So I'm going to give it a go on 120 first, see how we get on, but if not, I might have to turn the difficulty down too, because apparently the AI are absolutely ridiculous.
Mugello belongs to Valentino Rossi. He's won here every year since 2002. But this time it's Lorenzo on pole, Stoner beside him, and Rossi on the second row. Pedrosa is 8th. He crashed in practice. The weathers followed them from Le Mans. It's another flag-to-flag rodeo, this time with Marco Melandri actually taking the lead from Rossi at one point. Once the track has dried and the riders have switched to slick tyres, it's a fight to the finish between the Yamahas, the Ducati and the Honda. The Honda is not Pedrosa, it's his teammate Andrea Dovizioso. Pedrosa is down in 11th, and then he's down and out. This weekend, Casey Stoner seems a lot happier with his bike, but then
we started having problems with the clutch. I was going down the main straight and it was just spinning out. There was no power going through the bike. And I thought it was race over. I thought I burnt the clutch out somehow and we weren't going to be able to finish the race.
Stoner now does what he can do better than anybody. He adapts to the situation and goes even faster. This could be a big day for Ducati. They've never won at their home track. Can Stoner do it? The track's slippery, the bike's a handful, the clutch is grabbing. But you're in Italy, on a Ducati, and you're Casey Stoner. You can win this.
So then, we're actually playing as Casey Stoner, and our objective is to win the race. However, we've only got 4 laps to do it, and you can see we're 3 seconds behind Lorenzo in front. And I think this is why it's so difficult, because you have to gain so much time in such a short period of time against AI that are actually very fast, unlike they were in Mugello. So I think this is why we're going to struggle. You can see we've already lost a fair amount of time to Lorenzo. So yeah, this is going to be very, very tough. I don't like Mugello either, which doesn't really help. The AI do tend to go very well at Mugello. You can see how much time he's pulled on me already. So I reckon we are going to struggle to do this challenge. Now, at least the track is actually dry, is all I can say. Obviously, it's supposed to be wet track, but to actually put us on dry tyres, I guess they had to just make it sort of cloudy. Although, in some of the European circuits when it's cloudy, it doesn't really look very cloudy. It basically looks clear. Like, obviously there is a lot of cloud cover, but it's still so bright. You can still see so much blue sky. I mean, I've just run in the gravel. What am I even doing? That's not going to help. Lost even more time to Lorenzo now. But I just feel like we're not going to be able to catch him anyway. It's going to take me a little bit of time to get used to these bikes. I have at least been riding bikes of this speed, because the last video I did was the online video, and it's the same day as I recorded that. So at least I've not got that from a Moto 3. You can see I already lost like 2 seconds of all that lap. So yeah, this is looking pretty impossible so far. Here comes Elias. Elias has now passed me. So Elias has caught up the gap that there was actually behind me and overtaken me. So it looks like the AI is so fast here. It'd be nice to actually get a view to see how much faster they are than me. Just to see like where they're trying, maybe finding the time. I reckon Dobby's going to go past in a second as well. He is indeed. So Dovizioso's now through. Good job, we've got 7 seconds back to Caparossi, so we should be okay. Whoa, Dovy's did a wheelie. That's probably where he's getting his speed from. Got some kind of hacks on for extra acceleration. Actually, what is Dovey doing? Now that I'm close to him, he seems to maybe have slowed down almost. Which is kind of crazy. Might be just a bug where once they're out of sort of sight, they go a bit too quick. It's gaining a bit of time on me there, but that's nothing too ridiculous. Like, I'll be able to gain that back. Although, I've just gone a bit hot myself. Fortunately not crashed. So we're definitely not doing it on this attempt, but I just want to see sort of where they're actually pulling away. Just see if there's anything I can learn. Obviously I made a big mistake at Buccini, so you can kind of disregard that. into San Donato, I'm definitely much quicker. So it's definitely through that section when they pull away. Look how much they've put into me now. It's just basically Sector 2, but you can see I am a lot underneath my time. Oh, Dobby's done a big wheelie, same with the Lias as well there. But they are just so fast. I mean, I'm not riding like super optimally. Like, there's probably a few temps on the table for me, but there's still not enough to have a massive overhead to them so I can actually catch them up. So look how much they just pulled away there as well. Although I've just lost about half a second to my previous lap, so granted that probably was slightly me, but even still, you've seen how quick they are, and this is the final lap of the challenge, of course. So I reckon definitely have to turn the difficulty down. I don't even know what the gap is to Melandri, doesn't even give me it anymore. But if you look at the map, it's pretty huge. You're going down to San Donato, so not even close. And we lost like 2 seconds to Caparossi as well. So yeah, I think this challenge is pretty much impossible on 120% AI. A little bit weird that that can get past testing. I mean, I suppose a faster player could potentially do it, because compared to the difficulty of the other challenges, it seems a massive step up. But I was kind of expecting this going in, because I've been obviously told by other people that this challenge was literally impossible on 120%. So yeah, we'll turn down the difficulty maybe to 100, give it another go, see how we get on there. So then, here we are then, trying with a slightly lower difficulty this time. See if we can make the difference. I actually didn't realise how close we were initially to Lorenzo. I thought we were more like 4 seconds away initially, but it's like 2.5. The bike doesn't want to turn in, that doesn't help, honestly. So we've about kept the gap constant to Lorenzo, so if I can do a little bit of a better second lap, maybe we could take some time out of him. But I'd assume that they kind of expect you to catch Lorenzo on the very first lap and have a go at passing him. Because it is quite a tight challenge, because you're 7 seconds behind, you only have 4 laps. Whereas we got 6 seconds at Le Mans, and we had about 8 laps to catch that up, which obviously was really easy to do at Le Mans. But the challenges are not very well balanced. I've got to say, in this mode I have found some of the challenges to be ridiculously hard compared to some of the other ones. Some of them have been so easy, some of them have been, well, this one literally is impossible, but some of the other ones have been extremely difficult. Well, apparently Rossi's crashed, so that'll make things easier. He's right there. Probably crashed doing the wheelie. That's put me off though, so that's not actually helped, because yes, I've caught him a bit, but it cost me a ton of time to Lorenzo, because he was right where I wanted to put my bike. Oh, Lorenzo's just crashed as well. So that now leaves me in second place, but Marco Melandri is still 5 seconds up the road, so yeah, I don't think we're gonna catch Marco, to be honest. Oh, not like riding like that, I'm not. But if he crashes, it's possible. You think, though, I wouldn't have to hope that he crashes, because both the other riders have crashed so far. This has been a terrible lap from me as well, to be fair. But even still, obviously I've got a lap to go, and I'm not going to catch 5.5 up to him. So I think, again, I'm going to have to lower it probably by another 20% and see how we go there. That should give me a bit of an edge over them, and then hopefully I should be able to... Oh, I've crashed. Fantastic. But hopefully I should be able to actually catch them up. You see, that's how much I was actually trying, is that I ended up crashing. So, yeah, we'll go back, turn them down again, and hopefully we can actually achieve it next time. So then, this time, we're here with 80% AI. I never thought I'd say that, unless it was some sort of weird challenge video, but that is actually how difficult they are at this circuit. So it have 40%, so it's now like 2/3 of what it was. And it still doesn't really seem like I'm gaining much on Lorenzo, which is really saying something about how strong they are. I've thought this in the past. Some games, especially on MotoGP 21, they were absolutely ridiculously overpowered at Mugello. Maybe it's the straights, but it didn't seem like they were gaining that much on the straights. It was just through the better cornering. I guess it's just because the AI could turn. This track is so reliant on the high-speed corners, I guess. The fact that AI can turn so much better than the player is what enables them to be so fast around this circuit. But it does at least seem like on this occasion I'm able to catch Lorenzo up. It's still going to be a challenge, so I did like that. The fact I've got to turn the difficulty down is not amazing for me, especially to my pride, but everybody else decided to do it, and it's still going to hopefully be a challenge, so I'm not too bothered as long as it's still good fun for me. It'd be interesting to see where they give away the time, though. It does seem to be potentially on the brakes. I know that on previous games they just didn't go full throttle on the straights. So I can see Melandri in the distance. He's actually not as far up the road as I thought he was, to be honest. I thought he would be further. I guess I was kind of underestimating how far away we were from Lorenzo. But it does seem like on this occasion it should hopefully be possible if I can sort of get a move on. because we've not got all the time in the world, and I do need to pass Lorenzo and then catch a gap up to them. I've got to put a second into whoever's second, apparently, but I feel like I'm not going to do that. I feel like it is going to be a last lap pass. I'm not quite close enough to maybe make a pass into Scarperia. Not if I run that wide as well. So it's going to have to wait till probably Buccini or San Donato at this rate, I would have thought. So that gives me like 2 laps to hunt down Rossi and Melandri. Obviously they are together, so I'll probably pass them in pretty quick succession, although we are all over the back of Lorenzo now. The Correntaio. Can we get into the Biondetti? Oh, the front was sort of going there. Out of the Biondetti we go. We've got a good run on Jorge. Here we go. Up into 3rd place. So it is achievable on 80%. We've actually passed Lorenzo, although he's going to come straight back at me, I would have thought. I should have just gone for it. I thought he was going to come back up the inside. I didn't want to turn in on him. But he wasn't on the inside, so it didn't actually matter. So we've got 2.3 then to Valentino. We've got 2 laps to take that out of him. We should be able to do that. Just on fast lap of the race, 47.0. So we're still actually not quite as fast as I was going the very first time I did the challenge, when I was trying to keep up with Elias Dovizioso. I think I did a 46 when I was trying to keep up with Dovi. So it does show you there is a little bit more pace there, but it does show you also how ridiculous they were on the higher difficulty. So there we go then, we're about to start the final lap of the challenge. Rossi is all over the back of Melandri. I wouldn't be surprised if Rossi doesn't make a pass down towards turn 1 here. I just did my new fast lap of the race, another 47.0. We're closing up massively on the pair of them. So we go down towards San Donato. Going to make the pass up the inside of Valentino. So that gets me, oh, I've kind of punted him out the way. There was only very minor contact, he didn't really need to react like that, did he? We've now got the rest of the lap to try and pass Melandri, which is a lot easier said than done, because the AI, like I was saying, are pretty good at Mugello, and they're very good through the high-speed corners, which makes it difficult to get a run on them. But we're going to get Melandri here. So we're now up into the lead. We've got to put a second into them, and I think that will be probably the most difficult part, because they'll definitely be trying to re-overtake me. Well, I found a lot of time on that lap. We put 1.5 seconds into them, nearly 2 seconds. So perhaps the difficulty was a little bit too low, actually, in the end, once I really hooked a lap up. But that was a really good lap, 46.4. That's nothing to sniff at Mugello. So I still had to push, even against 80 AI, which is absolutely ridiculous. But there we go then, we've passed the first episode. Let's head on to the next one. I'm guessing the difficulty will obviously be about the same, so 80%, I'll stick with that for now. And I wonder who we'll have to play as.
The king of Mugello is on your tail. Hold him off and get past Dovizioso. Maybe you can't catch Stoner, but how sweet would it be to beat Rossi here in Italy?
So here we are then, we're actually playing as Lorenzo this time. And we have to finish 2nd place, so we've actually got to gain a few positions here. We've got past Dovi, Caparossi. I guess this is earlier on in the race. Wasn't really looking at the lap timers, but Caparossi was like 8 seconds behind, wasn't he? When we did the very first part behind like Dovizioso, or around the outside of Dovizioso. And I thought we'd actually pulled that one off then. We've hit Dovizioso, so this is going to be a bit difficult to get past him. Dovi is actually holding us up a tad, and I've lost the front a bit there. That might allow Rossi through. It's fortunately not. We need to pass Dovizioso ASAP, although we should be able to pass him into San Donato. I would have thought it'd be quite easy. Although actually, out of Buccini instead. So there we go. So we've got to finish 2nd. We've got a distance 3rd by at least a 2nd. See, this one seems a lot more feasible, even like a harder difficulty compared to the previous one. Because the amount of stuff you have to do seems like probably about the same. But you've got a lot more laps. Yes, of course, you haven't got to gain 5 seconds on Melandri, whereas you had to on the previous one. But even still, I feel like this part of the challenge does just feel easier, at least to pass anyway, because the secondary objective, of course, is only optional, so it's only finishing 2nd and beating Rossi. If you know that AI, Rossi will probably stay in 5th anyway. So I've actually gone down into power mode 2 now, because I noticed that there wasn't a lot of fuel in this bike, and I didn't want to repeat it the last episode. There we go, around the outside. Oh, tried to go on the outside of Caparossi, a bit of contact. Fair play to Loris Caparossi. We need to get past him to get that 2nd place. Rossi actually has got past Dovizioso, so I'm quite surprised, but he's now 2.5 seconds behind. Up the inside we go of Caparossi though. Into Buccini, up to 2nd position. Caparossi's not going to come back up the inside, is he? No, he's not. So up to 2nd place. We'll probably be able to beat Stoner, to be fair, because he's only 8 tenths up the road. I'm thinking that maybe 85 would have been a better one to go with, but I had no idea since 120 was so tough. Then 100 was still really tough. So I turn it down even more, and it seemed about right in the first laps. Obviously, as I get up to speed, it will, of course, always become easier. That's just how these things are. But yeah, the AI, I actually can't believe how quick they were. I heard they were quick, and I thought, surely they're not that fast. But they really are. So, fair play, I guess, to some extent to Milestone for making the AI that fast, but why are they not that fast everywhere? Why are they so slow? Always everywhere else. And who is that? Is that someone a lap down in front of Stoner? Be interesting to see who that is. Because you're clearly intended to sort of be able to see them, because you get given 5 laps, and they're not that far away. Stoner doing a huge wheelie. They always seem to do the wheelie over there. That should cost them a lot more time, but right on the... I've actually hit Stoner. I thought I was going to sort of... well, I hit him again. I thought I was going to sort of stick it up the inside of that next one. I was going to get on the power, go around the outside, and then stick it up the inside. But they're actually that slow mid-corner. I kind of misjudged it and hit him up the back. This time we should get him, though. There we go, up into the lead of the challenge. You can see my times are actually a bit slower than they were in the previous part of the challenge when I was playing Stoner. I was doing 47 deads and those, and I did a 46.4 at the end. And on this occasion, I'm on course for, well, a 47.4, so basically a second slower than it was in the previous challenge. But look how much I caught and passed them. So the AI do genuinely seem slower in this part of the challenge than they did in the previous part, which is absolutely ridiculous. So I don't know whether maybe it was bugged, the first part, and they are too fast. I don't really know. There did used to be a bug that once they got out front, they just did ridiculous lap times you couldn't sort of catch up to. And maybe that was the issue in the first part, because it put them so far ahead, you couldn't catch them. It looks to me like the lapped rider might be De Angelis. Kind of looks like the San Carlo Grassini leather, and I think it looks like his helmet as well, from the little I saw there. So I'll have to see, because we might be able to catch him. Although, again, I probably shouldn't overly push to try and catch some random back marker. You can see Rossi's actually up to 3rd place, though, so I am a bit surprised. Stoner's pretty far in front of Valentino, of course, so we're fine. Here's De Angelis. He's actually in 15th place, so obviously a lot of riders have crashed out because this was a tricky race. I wonder if De Angelis actually got lapped in real life in the end. I don't know if he's going to get lapped in this challenge. He might not, by the looks of it so far. So we are like right on the back of De Angelis now, so De Angelis does look like he's going to get lapped. I don't think I've ever lapped an AI in one of these games. Not for a very, very long time anyway. Not in one of the modern era games, unless I've deliberately put the AI difficulty down for a challenge or something. So I don't think they get out of the way. I think he will just keep riding on like nothing's happened. And sadly, I don't think I'm actually going to get him before the line now, because he's a bit too far away. I'll try and carry the speed through Buccini, but I made a bit of a mistake. But out of here, we might be able to get him actually. We've got some good drive. Can we get De Angelis before the line? Can we lap him? Here we go, trying to lap Alex De Angelis. We are going to do it by the looks of it. Side by side, just ahead of him. So there you go, De Angelis. One less lap for you to do. And we managed to achieve the challenge. I got to say, that one was a lot easier than the first part of the challenge. Again, that probably is me acclimatizing to the bikes a little bit, but I feel like the AI's pace was just slower in the second part of the challenge. I reckon the second part was actually doable at 120, to be honest with you. They seemed that much slower. It would have been difficult, but you wouldn't have had to assail such a huge gap, and I think they're much slower once you get near them. But even still, I don't know what that first part was. I got told before, like I said, I did know about it, but how fast they were is absolutely unbelievable. So it's a bit of a shame I had to turn the difficulty down, but you know, it's just one of those things. Still, it looked probably about the same compared to some of the other ones. If you look at Le Mans, I was demolishing them a lot more at Le Mans on 120 than I did at 80% here. So it does really highlight how inconsistent the AI are from track to track. But I hope you guys have enjoyed that one regardless. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you all stay safe, and I shall see you in the next one.